Hi, it's Mark from Mark of the Cyberbeast. Today, I'm eating Indian food. Why am I eating Indian food on Mark of the Cyberbeast? Well, guess what? The Model Y was just delivered to the showroom in Mumbai. Tesla is opening up in India, and we got more information for you on that. It's gonna be a really great episode, so hang tight. Okay, I have to admit that was completely accidental, and it was not planned that I had leftover Indian food from yesterday. So we had a new Indian restaurant open up in North Myrtle Beach. It is phenomenal. And that's the only reason why I had that food. But the great news is it timed it perfectly with today, which is the day before my birthday. Just saying. Tesla opened up the India showroom. Now I have some notes here because I don't want to miss anything. What they did was Tesla's talked about this now for a while, opening up and expanding into India, but I want to say exactly what it means because I think not everyone understands what happened, what changed with this. There's actually some good information for Tesla corporate on this. Now, they are planning to open up a couple showrooms. One's already open. They've got the one in Mumbai. They're opening up plans to open up another one in Delhi, and a third one in Mumbai. They also plan to get some office space. I think they said around 25,000 square feet of office space for some regional headquarters there. I'm not sure exactly what that's for. But they had a Model Y there on display in their 4,000 square foot showroom that they had there. They have the rear wheel drive and the long range version. They do offer the FSD, so hopefully I think Tesla's plan is to probably get a little further with FSD, a little quicker than they are with Europe, right? So if they can get some traction there, because the roads in India, or when people drive there, they're not as forgiving as they are in the UK. It's very aggressive. So if FSD could do well there, I'm sure it could do well in Europe. Now, there's something that maybe some of you may not be aware of. Initially, the plan was to build a gigafactory in India. There were talks about putting $2 or $3 billion worth of investment into India. That has changed, okay? What they plan to do instead is to import into India fully built units from China. Now, by doing that, the tariff is going to be about 70% coming into India. Now, why is this, and what does this all mean? Now, initially, a lot of people thought they were going to build inexpensive Teslas in India and then ship them to the US. But that's actually not the case, probably due to Trump's tariffs. Because if they do that, they're going to pay extra in tariffs. Now, India has high tariffs as well. So when you guys start saying Trump and tariffs and blah, 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 you got to realize countries like India, when they import stuff from Shanghai, there's a 70% tariff, okay? That's a lot of money. And they have the right to do that, just like we do too. It's to protect their local business, okay? So they're opening up in India really as a showroom, as retail sales for really end-to-end sales for their people who live there in India. So they said they have no local manufacturing plans yet. Obviously that can change, but there was a discussion about $2 to $3 billion to open up a gigafactory there. That's since changed. Now, EV policy in India, because they obviously pollute a whole lot. They're not the most green country there is. So they're trying to transition that. So there's going to be about a 15% offset in the tariffs. It may go up from there. We don't know yet. But that'll help offset the tariff cost coming in from China into India. Okay, so that's the other thing. The other issue is Tesla is looking to do some manufacturing there, and they actually have a couple different locations they're into discussions with. And I think a lot of it has to do with how this takes off. Now in India, Tesla is considered a high-end brand like BMW or Mercedes. And many of you out there may consider it in that same realm. Many of you do not. That's a whole nother discussion, right? Do they drive as well as those counterparts? Absolutely. But there are some features in some of those higher end cars that are really reserved for like an S or an X. And even the S or X may not have, you can argue, some of the stuff that a high-end Mercedes, a high-end Audi or BMW has. But when you start talking about vehicles that are over $100,000 and comparing that with vehicles that are $80,000, you know, that is a substantial dollar amount. Now, if Tesla did want to, you know, come out with a luxury vehicle that was $150,000, I'm sure there'd be things that would tickle your fancy in a BMW like they have. But even a Roadster at a couple $100,000, that's made for performance, not really luxury. But again, this is something where I do think the Teslas in foreign countries are considered right there with a Mercedes and BMW. Now, in India, they have lots of kids. So what's hugely popular in India is an SUV. And this is why they're leading with the Model Y. Why not the Model X? Well, again, that's a price point issue, right? Model X goes up in price significantly. The Model Y, you know, there was that discussion about adding the 2 more rear seats in the back instead of the hatchback. You know, maybe that's going to be an option. Who knows? But, you know, that is going to be really Tesla's lead entry is going to be the Model Y. The Model 3 is probably going to be almost negligible sales. I'm sure if they want to go up from the Model Y, a Model X would be the next one, but Model Y is going to be the lead contender in that. By the way, Tata Motors has a 60% market share there in India. Tata is made in India. They're the leader, okay? But also, too, only 2.5% of all vehicles in India are actually EVs, which, you know, is a low percentage. So I think India wants to try to change. You know, India is really, they've come a long way. And I love Indian people. I love their culture. I love their mindset. And I think they really want to make that change to a cleaner, greener environment. They're going to have to up that number. I think that's why they're excited about Tesla coming. And they love Elon. You know, there are some countries that love Elon, some that hate. I think Europe has some countries that aren't fond of Elon. But you get countries like India, and I think just their mindset and their culture have the utmost respect for him, especially with their new space program that they have. If you're aware of, you know, they're putting people into space, and they have a whole lot of respect for Elon's SpaceX program. So again, I think, you know, they're welcoming him with warm embraces, and they want to see Tesla going ahead and succeeding there. Let's see, what other quick things I'm going to discuss here. Geopolitical factors. Donald Trump comments that Tesla's potential manufacturing in India may be unfair. And that may have been the Tesla's reason why they weren't going to open a gigafactory there. And, you know, I understand they want to keep the manufacturing local to the U.S., just like it has been in Fremont and Austin, and now in Nevada with the batteries and the semis. So it'd be nice to see Tesla export American-made vehicles to India, but again, that's going to be subject to 70% tariffs. Now, if Tesla does catch on, India becomes more than just a showroom. Then they could build a small factory there, and they could build them there and avoid the tariffs, drop the prices, and really sell a lot of vehicles. But when you have a 70% tariff on it, that makes it a little hard to compete with Tata, who's local. By the way, this is, you're going to find this exciting. There is a Tesla Club India, okay, which is an online community there in India, and it's got 20,000 members, okay? These people love Tesla, they love Elon. 20,000 members for Tesla Club of India, that's huge. So again, it's got some high price, but you know what? People who have that kind of money, if something's a high price, it doesn't turn them away, right? It gives it a stature, level of stature and a status symbol. So it may not work against them totally. So this is actually going to be a really cool thing. Tesla is going to deploy some superchargers to India. They're going to do public supercharging like they do here. They've got a handful of locations that they've selected to do the supercharging, and they're kind of got to put their feet in the water and see what happens, right? And try to turn India from, you know, a gas guzzling country into a more greener country with EVs. So that's the news really for today, I don't see Cybertrucks being a part of India's culture, but who knows what may happen. Tomorrow's July 16th. It's my birthday. Feel free to, well, actually, when I say tomorrow, that means it's tomorrow for me, it's today for you. So in the comments below, you can just wish me a happy birthday. You could buy me a Starbucks coffee or something like that. I don't care. Anyway, just wanted to share the news that's happened today, the day before my birthday, and the day that is going to change India. I think you're going to see a country that once you start seeing a few Teslas on the road, you're going to see, I think, a snowball effect. It's going to take a little bit of time, but there is a lot of money in India, and you're going to see the people, especially the tech people that love Elon and Tesla, really just jump on board with this. And it's a whole nother market for Tesla to expand on. So, thank you for joining me today. Remember, as always, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.